Strong shallow magnitude 5.8 earthquake hits Assam in India. And guys, I will show you video evidence what women protect during an earthquake and what men protect during an earthquake. And guys, your men, I have to tell you, it's not looking too good for you if we see what you are protecting. I will show you these videos, but let's talk a little bit about the Udalguri district, Assam first. It was 4:41 p.m. local time on September 14th that, according to the India Meteorological Department, they reported this magnitude 5.8, some say 5.9, very shallow earthquake at a depth of only 5 kilometers, that's roughly 3 miles. So that's why you feel the shaking more violently, and everything is shaking more violently. This is an area with buildings that are vulnerable to earthquakes, not built up to code, most of them, not very stable. So that's why we always have to see how this turns out, how many more reports are coming in. The epicenter was roughly 11 kilometers, 6.8 miles northeast of Karupatia, with a population of almost 20,000 people, and only 12 miles away from Udalguri, a population with 16,000 people, and northeast of Mangaldai, population of 24,000 people, 19 miles of Dekakuyi, a population of 22,000 people. So this earthquake had an epicenter within an area with quite a densely populated area. So that's why it's worth to report about it. And you see it on the maps behind me where the epicenters of this actual earthquakes were. And also the USGS has issued a yellow alert for shaking related to potential losses of people and economic losses. And so it is possible that there are casualties and losses, but we have to see what is really happened. So if we look at the shake map, it explains why the shaking was reported in so many nearby areas, and including other parts of northeastern India, even into North Bengal and the neighboring Bhutan. And so far, again, no immediate reports of a lot of damage, but definitely there is some. So the predominant vulnerable building types that are in this area are adobe block with wood, and then rubble, field stone, and some masonry construction. So really bad when it comes to shaking, and especially when it comes to shallow shaking. And there's also liquefaction in this area. So they think that the liquefaction that is estimated to be triggered by this earthquake is really, really significant in severity, and that could affect close to 100,000 people. Before we go into more details and before I show you videos of potential damages and the difference, what are women protecting? You see it here in the video. These two nurses, they feel the earthquake coming and they do not duck, cover, and hold on. They're taking care of the newborn babies. They're making sure that these vulnerable babies are not falling off these tables. So they stand there during the earthquakes, putting themselves at risk, putting their lives at risk, that falling ceilings, walls, objects, lamps, everything could crash down on them. We might hope that a hospital is one of the very, very few buildings that are reinforced for earthquakes, and it doesn't look there was a lot of damage, but that's what women do. And guys, here it comes. I'm so sorry to tell you or to show you this. This is what you are embracing. This is what you are protecting. Your most valuable things, your personal bar with booze. This is what has happened. And you know, in the face of tragedy, I think we should always have a room for a little laughter, because this definitely happened, right? So this guy, I'm sure he's a hero for many other men. But what else happened? we already have reports of an aftershock of at least magnitude 2.7, and also PM Modi has called in the local authorities and has said that he would assure support and that teams would be assist in assessing the extent of the damages. And I want to show you this video, that's a CCTV camera that captured the earthquake live, where you see there's a wall between two buildings, how this is visibly shaking. And the problem is how this wall is constructed. This is how many homes and buildings and structures are also constructed in this area. Does not look quite stable or quite trustworthy. And where does this earthquake come from? Of course, from a collision. Something's colliding again, like the reason for most earthquakes. It's an ongoing collision between the Indian and Eurasian tectonic plates. They're building pressure along the Himalayan thrust faults, and Assam lies in a high seismic zone due to this subduction that is happening there. And this magnitude 5.8 or 5.9, how many call it, is a stark reminder for the seismic risk in that area. So they could also see a bigger one. And that's why the fears, when you look at how these buildings are constructed, that something as bad as in Afghanistan could happen. They're certainly present. Afghanistan was an absolute tragedy, with 90% of the villages that were around the epicenter of this earthquake were destroyed, were turned into dust. I have reported extensively about this, especially there's a controversial topic. Look at my poll on my YouTube page underneath the post, because women were the last to be rescued or not rescued at all in this earthquake because of religious beliefs. Men are not supposed to touch these women unless it's the husband or a father, I guess. So women and children were in the rubble. No doctor would touch them. Nobody would get them out unless there were other women trying to get them out. But official rescue teams do not allow women to work in these teams. So of course there was a big uproar, and it was international help also, when that happened, was getting quite sparse. People were hesitant, and I have asked you guys, what would you do? Would you send money? Would you send help? Would you attach conditions? Would you say we only help the women and the children? An absolute tragedy that has unfolded there. So that's why we have to see what will follow with this earthquake. Was this the main shock? Maybe we have a 2.7, that could definitely be the aftershock. We have to see. This high seismic zone is definitely good for a lot of destruction. So I hope you liked what you saw, guys. If you did, leave it a like, click the hype button to support my channel, click the join button to become a member for behind the scene videos. And if you want to keep me going, fill me up with coffee, guys. I have a buymeacoffee.com/silky site. It's greatly appreciated. The link is in the description of this video. And as always, guys, I would love to see you in a second. If you click on one of these videos in the end screen, I tell you really interesting stuff. I just released a video about internal tsunamis, and I'm not talking about the bathtub in your home. I'm talking about something that's going on deep underneath the ocean surface, and it can be more powerful than the surface tsunamis. And not many people know about this, but the force is immense. So that's why I want you to know about this. Click here. I see you. Bye bye.